Today we're going to talk about disguise testing for depth of trance and why it might be the best choice when doing an induction. We'll also talk about the biggest mistake hypnotists make regarding testing. I'm Keith. Let's jump right in. The famous Dave Ellman induction is an interesting approach to testing for depth. Right off the bat, the person being hypnotized is asked to, quote-unquote, close their eyes and relax them to the point where they just won't work. The hypnotee is then asked to try to open them and find that the harder they try, the more the eyes remain closed. This instruction has several purposes. It asks the subject to concentrate completely on an idea, and that leads to hypnosis. It gets the person to follow instructions, and folks that follow small instructions early on are more likely to follow further instructions. And it gets the eyes to close, of course. But there's something else. It's a test. If the eyes remain closed, the subject has achieved catalepsy of a small muscle group. That's a hypnotic phenomenon, and it's a test for a fairly light level of trance. Later stages of the Ellman induction include checking for other indications of trance, including body warmth, catalepsy of a larger muscle group, increased wetness of the eyes, and eventually amnesia. These tests are woven into the induction, so they're sometimes called disguised testing. But why are these tests important? And what happens if they fail? Well, you wouldn't start baking a cake until you'd mixed all the ingredients together, of course. Things have to be done in a certain order. Now, hypnosis is not as cut and dried as baking a cake, but the metaphor still holds. In general, you'll get better results with deeper levels of trance to a point. And in general, you're also going to progress through the lighter stages to the deeper stages. So how do you know where you are unless you test? But most hypnotists don't do this. In fact, the biggest mistake most make is to not test at all beyond making sure the client doesn't jump up and run out of the office screaming. Well, why don't they test for depth of trance? Well, the answer is generally they're scared. And hey, I've been there. You hypnotize someone and you're afraid it's not taking, so you just keep telling them to go to a safe place and, you forego the tests. Hope for the best. But it's not the best, is it? The best would be getting consistently good results. The fear comes mostly from having a particular mental framework around testing, and it's about failure. What happens if the client fails the test for depth of trance or a suggestibility test? That's not a useful framework to have. In my opinion, it's better to think of it as skill building for the client. They're learning, and frame it that way. If you suggest the client try to open their eyes and find the eyes remain closed, but the client's eyes pop open, you give them feedback and help them on how to do it correctly. That's right. You can open your eyes. You've shown that. Now, let's see if you can focus your imagination well enough that the eyes remain closed. That it's as if your eyes are comfortably and safely fused together. So you give them instructions. Help the client build skill using their imagination and concentration. Now, if you'd like to learn more about hypnosis and suggestibility tests, there's information below the video. If you're on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.